Dungeons & Dragons, probably one of the most iconic games of all time, and for good reason. It's fun and immersive, and it's a good time just eating some pizza and pretending to be wizards and shit with your friends. But behind the lightning bolts and the goblins and the pepperoni and cheese, there's a truly revolutionary way of storytelling embedded in this game that I think is immensely important and represents the gold standard for the future of the medium. Now, for those of you who are unaware how D&D is played, or any other role-playing game for that matter, allow me to enlighten you. In its most basic form, one person, the Dungeon Master, tells a story, and the players are participants in that story. They make the decisions, they affect where the story goes. So, for instance, the Dungeon Master might say something like this. You find yourself walking through the forest as night falls. The darkness quickly encroaching around you as 5 goblins are spotted dragging a body in the distance. To which the players would decide to do whatever they want. One might say, I follow them from a distance to see where they're going. Another might say, I shoot at them with my bow. Or that one friend at the table who would probably say, I take out my torch and attempt to set the entire forest on fire. All valid answers. There are no wrong answers, in fact. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. The decisions are supposed to be buffered by who your character is, you know, their personalities and ideals and all of that, but if your character is a fucking psychopath, hey, fair game. However, the beauty of this all and how it relates to storytelling is in the fact that while the players have the freedom to do literally whatever they want,
Flip, slap that hobbit's dick off, yo.
It all takes place within the context of a larger world and an ongoing campaign with cohesive political structures and institutions and NPCs who are imagined to be as close to real people as possible. So that player who burned down the forest, big deal. Right? Forest's gone. Who needs forests anyways? Saving the environment is for pussies.
How dare you?
Well, maybe there was a village nearby who harvested resources from that forest and they've all just become homeless and mostly dead. And maybe they pool whatever remaining resources they have together to hire assassins to find an exact retribution on whoever decimated their livelihoods. Or maybe you drive hordes of evil wild creatures who called those woods home out into the lands, and now your journey from town to town just became considerably more perilous. Or maybe the heat from the entire ordeal awoke an ancient evil fire god slumbering deep below the earth who is now risen up to plunge the entire world in hell. Who knows? But either way, every decision the players make can, and most often does, have long-lasting consequences that spiral out into the world. A butterfly effect, with every choice irrevocably altering the direction of the story. Even major plot pieces, ancient artifacts needed to destroy the last evil wizard plaguing the land can be misplaced, destroyed, lost in space, or otherwise pulled into an interdimensional vortex. It doesn't matter. The players are forced to figure out new and creative ways to move forward under those circumstances. And this all contributes towards creating some of the richest, most intriguing, and memorable stories that you're not likely to find anywhere else. Stories that transcend the standard mechanic of one person imagining a plot, writing it down, and then the end consumer winds up either reading it or playing through it. Boring. This is molded in real time with complete freedom by the players and nobody, not even the DM, knowing where it could go. For an example, in the last campaign that I was running, my players had a helmet that could teleport them anywhere within the plane that they were currently on. And by some weird stroke of luck, they managed to find themselves falling through some interdimensional travel after finding and using an ancient relic in the bag of some gnomes they stole from in a tavern. Already, that's pretty fucked. But given the choice of 5 different dimensions, they chose to land in the plane of air, ending up randomly on a mercenary ship. Completely hooped and outnumbered, they remembered that their dwarven paladin was from the plane of air. So using the helmet, they teleported to the capital city where the paladin was from. Found out the leader of the paladin order was an evil mage after giving him information they shouldn't have, got hit with a mind wipe spell, turning one of the players into Forrest Gump, and then they eventually managed to escape only to spend the rest of the campaign being hunted down by interdimensional traveling elite dwarven assassins from the plane of air. I mean, shit, dude. You couldn't think that up if you tried. And I didn't, which is the whole point. I, as the DM, went into that session thinking they were gonna spend the night at the tavern and move on to the next dungeon outside of town. That is the magic of this game. You know, that is the magic of the storytelling in this game. By the time it's all said and done, everybody has come away from the table not only having experienced a story that none of them could have ever fathomed, but having experienced a story that each one of them contributed to and put their own essence and unique flair into. It's an act of the purest, most joyful form of communal imagination, and I view that truly as the future of storytelling. A future in which we're not given a completed piece of content to consume, but where everybody has their say. A vast array of inputs, all forming pieces of a world and of a story to their own liking while contributing to the amazing and ever-changing whole. A future where everyone gets a say, but also has to learn to live within the boundaries of all the other opinions to shape a narrative that not one single participant could have possibly ever foreseen, but that everybody built. So basically, kind of just like real life, but with wizards and shit, obviously. And it really brings people together. You know, I mean, 90% of the stuff that me and my friends talk about are just the crazy adventures we've been on in D&D over the years, because we really feel like they're ours and not just something we were given to do, but rather something that we made together. And I think that's so much more powerful than a movie or a game or any other kind of narrative delivery device. This is something that truly sticks with you in a powerful way. And if you've never played the game before, I implore you to give it a try. It'll get those imagination juices flowing, and I think it'll truly show you the magic of what storytelling can be. But that's the video, folks, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you on the next one. Love ya. Bye-bye.